welcome back to Sorare Assist. Adam here, and today I'm going to be picking all of my limited teams, including my best ever Challenger limited team is going to be Unleashed. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not signed up to Sorare Football yet, you can sign up using the link below to get 13 common cards and a limited card. Also guys, check me out on Twitter, Sorare Assist, check out my Patreon, and also check out sorareassist.com. Okay guys, let's get stuck into this week's lineup builder then. And I'll be revealing my best ever Challenger Europe limited side after making a recent signing to bolster that team. So I'm first of all just going to go over to the upcoming game week. Just want to check on the specialist limited tournaments and that sort of thing first of all. So we've got the specialist limited as normal. We've got the legends as well, but I won't be entering that one. We've got the usual tournaments, and we should have the Underdog limited as well. Yeah, we've got the Underdog limited as well here, which I'll be entering. And you don't need a goalkeeper that now necessarily as well, which is good because you only actually need 4 cards. So that's good to know. Just so I know what tournaments there is, I just wanted to check if there's any specialist ones this week. So I'm on the lineup builder here then. So it's game week 294 that we're looking at here, guys. And we've also got the return of the Netherlands division, the Turkish League, French League 1 as well. So there's plenty to get stuck into in this upcoming game week. And we've also got the German League as well, of course. So let's have a look what I've got available in terms of goalkeepers to start with then. So I've got 2 David Roofs here. Got plenty of Asia goalkeepers as well. America goalkeepers obviously going to be Blake. Got Kovenk back now. He's back for Gaziantep, of course, in the Turkish League. So this is looking pretty good in terms of goalkeepers. Right, okay, so let's have a look as well at the probabilities for the rewards in the upcoming game week. I do like to look at that. That helps me decide where I'm going to prioritise my best lineup as well. And ideally I want to be aiming for a tier 2 limited at least. That's my target. So we'll start with the All-Star Limited. So it's 337 for the All-Star Limited. Obviously this can change as more people enter, but at the moment this is probably a good indication of what sort of scores you're going to need. Challenger Europe Limited is you're looking at around 356 points for your for a chance of a tier 2 in that division. 333 for the Challenger Europe. Under 23 is 297, so that's looking good. America is 335 and the Asia is 340. So they're all pretty similar really, as you can see. The All-Star, what was that one again? 337. So they're all about the same. As you can see, the Champion Europe is the hardest one to actually win the rewards. You need about an extra 20 more points on average to get a tier 2 reward potentially. Okay then guys, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and pick my team. So I'm going to actually start with my Challenger Europe team, because as I say, this is going to be my best team that I've ever unleashed in this particular tournament. So in terms of the goalkeeper, I'm going to go with Davy Roof against St. Trudent. So that is an easy choice there. Defender, now again another easy choice. I'm going to go with Douglas Santos of Zenit. Midfield, and the new signing that I was talking about is Wendell. So I'm going to go with him. Again, another obvious choice in the midfield slot. Up front, now I've got Steven Berghuis here, but I've also got Malcolm for Zenit. So I'm going to go with Malcolm in the forward slot. As you can see, this team is looking absolutely brilliant so far. And now in the extra slot, you might think maybe go with another Zenit player, but no, I'm not going to go for another Zenit player. I'm going to go with Steven Berghuis in the final slot there. As you can see, this team is looking absolutely brilliant. Even if I do say so myself. So this is looking really solid, this team. Now it's pretty hard to actually pick a captain for this team. There's that many good players. I might just roll a dice and see what it lands on. But in actual fact, I might actually go with Steven Berghuis. He's obviously fantastic for Ajax. They do have the most favourable fixture out of Zenit and Ajax actually. And they're playing the team that nearly got relegated last season. First game of the season back as well for the Netherlands, so there's usually quite a lot of goals in the first game back. So hopefully Berghuis can be the player who gets the benefit of that. So we're going to go ahead with him as the captain. So I'm sure you'll agree, this team looks absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see what happens with that team. Hopefully the Zenit have a good result, and then Berghuis can get some goals, and maybe Roof can get his first clean sheet of the season. Okay, right, so that team is done and dusted. Save that one. So next I'm going to actually focus on the limited America team, because I know I've I'm going to go for in goal and defence in this one. It's an easy choice really, because I have got a stack for Philadelphia. I've got Blake, who've got a decent fixture as well actually. 40% chance of winning. And the defender, I'm going to go with Kai Wagner. So that is an obvious choice there in my defence. Midfield. So I've got Carlos Gil here. So he's not been on the best of form recently. He's still been on good form, but not good form for Carlos Gil. 31% chance of winning there. Don't think it's Carlos Gil's fault though. It's obviously New England Revolution and not been great this season so far. So we've also got Roldan for Seattle. It's looked to have a difficult fixture. So do New England as well in this game actually. I've also got Valdez here, which could be interesting. Home to Juarez. Got a good score in the last game as well. Let's have a look. 77 points, yeah. So it looks like he's coming back to form after with 3 games in the Mexican League. I've also got Mihailovic here as well, which is obviously a potentially another solid option. But I might need him for my under-23 side this week with Zachariah getting sent off last time out. I've also got Blanco as well for the Portland Timbers. So as you can see, a few options here, Let's just see who I've got up front for the American League. That might help me decide. So I've got Nies Goza here for the Portland Timbers as well. He could potentially link up with Blanco. I've got a Ruti. He's not the best of scorers though, is he? So it's probably going to be one of these guys up here. Now Radius, we don't know if he's going to actually start this game. If he is, I might be tempted to go with his Seattle Sounders stack in those 3 positions there. But as I said, I don't know if he's 100% going to be starting this match. So there is a slight risk there. I think I'm actually going to go with Nies Goza here, you know, in the up front. Didn't score in the last game, scored in the 2 before that, so he potentially drew a goal. So I might go with him up front, and in the midfield I'll go with Blancos, obviously the teammate of Nies Goza. And the extra slot, I'm going to go with... It's between Gil and Valdez. But I'm also keeping in mind which of these players I can use in my other teams as well. I'm going to go with Gil here actually. And in terms of a captain, I'm going to go with Blanco as my captain in this one. Hopefully he can get a good score in this upcoming game week. Makes sense as well, so I've got Nies Goza in there as well. So hopefully he'll get an assist for Nies Goza. That's going to be a brilliant combination. And hopefully Gil can return back to his fantastic scoring ability. But we do need New England Revolution to improve their form for that to happen. So this is looking pretty solid to me, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and save that team. So the Champion Europe Limited side, I don't actually think I've got a full team to put in this one. So obviously all the leagues are not back yet in that region. So as you can see, I've not got a goalkeeper. Probably alright for the rest of the positions, but I've not got a goalkeeper. So I'm not going to go with him. I'm not going to go for a team in that division this week. So next we'll move on to the Asia Limited division. So goalkeeper. So we've got Rung Song here, who looks like a good pick, 42% chance of winning as well. Tani will be saved my under 23 side. So I think this is pretty easy, straightforward pick here. I'm going to go with Rung Song in goal. Now defender, I would normally go for Yamane, but I don't know if he's injured or something. He's not really predicted to start this one. Could potentially be still injured. I don't know if he got injured on an international game. But he's potentially still out, so I'm not going to risk him. Got Hand Bum here for Seoul, that could be a decent option. And I think it's probably going to be the one that I go for here actually. So I'm going to go with, although... No, I don't need him for my under 23. I think I've got Winsdal actually. I think I've got Winsdal, he's back now, isn't he? So, yeah, I'm going to go with Hand Bum here for Seoul, that makes sense. Decent scorer as well. Midfielder, I think there's only one option here, and that is going to be Jin Ho. Looks like he's definitely going to start that one as well. Now, up front, we've got Min Kyu here for Jeju, away to Seoul, so I don't really want to pick him potentially, because that's going to hamper the clean sheet for him. And also, Chang Min, I think he's injured or something, so he's potentially not going to start this game. That would have been a good stack for Jeju if I had Chang Min and Jo Min Kyu. But as I said, I don't think he's going to start. Now, I've also got Cecina there as well here. 47% chance of winning against Ichin. As we know, Cecina is an absolutely fantastic card and player to have in your collection. So I'm actually going to go with Cecina there in the forward position. And the extra slot, Sangho, don't know if he's going to start potentially, I don't want to risk that. I've got a Niga here as well for Kawasaki and Demao as well for Kawasaki. But Demao has not been on the best of form, has he, recently? Aniga's been playing well though, so it is tempting to put Aniga and Demau together, but I don't really want to do a stack though and compensate quality just for the sake of a stack. I don't know if Demau's going to actually find his goal scoring boots. So what I might do here, might actually get rid of Cecina, potentially use him in my all-star team. Because I think I should have a pretty solid all-star team this week, because obviously there's a lot of cards to use. So I'm going to actually go with Demau up front, and then I'm going to go with Aniga in the extra slot. I think that makes sense there to go a bit of a stack with Kawasaki. Jinho is always brilliant, he's going to get me a good score. Then I've got the Kawasaki goalkeeper as well, and Handboom in defence. So I think that's making sense. I think that's looking pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and save that lineup once I've picked a captain. So my captain, I'm just going to go with Jinho there, play it safe, go ahead and save that. So that is looking pretty solid to me. Really good team again for my limited Asia team. Right, so let's move on to the under 23 team then. So goalkeeper, easy choice here one I've got, Tani. Defender, we've got Wijndal here for Ajax, he's expected to start as well. So easy choice again, going to go with him in my defender slot. Midfielder, now I've got Zamansky, who's now signed for Feyenoord of course. So I think that is another easy pick, I'm going to go with him in the midfield slot. Up front, right, we've got Maleka here, who's now playing for Besiktas. That could be a good game. I've also got Chirau as well of Basaksehir. And of course I've got Jesus Ferreira, but they've not got the easiest game against the Portland Timbers. So this is quite a tough choice actually. Now in terms of the extra slot, I think I'm going to want to go with Mihailovic here in the extra slot. That makes sense to me. He's got a really good fixture as well, so I am going to go with him there. So I just need to think about the forward now. So I've got Chirau, Moleka. I like both of these players. They are both expected to start as well. And I've also got Jesus Ferreira for Dallas. Now I think what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go with Maleka here. As you can see, Besiktas has got a favourable fixture against Kayserispor, who were absolutely rubbish last season. And Maleka is brilliant in the Turkish league. He was last season he was on loan to a team that was actually lower in the division than Besiktas. So I think Besiktas have got a really good chance of winning this one. So I am going to go with Maleka here up front. Now, as you can see, this team again is looking really, really solid. And in terms of the captain, I am tempted to actually go with Maleka here, I think he can grab a couple of goals. He's got a decent all-round game as well. Mihailovic is the other tempting option. Potentially even Zamansky or Wijndal, but with them being away, I do want to favour a home player really, a player that's playing at home. I think Mihailovic is still coming back to fitness a little bit after he was out injured. So I think I am going to go with Maleka. First game of the season. Again, as I say, there's usually a lot of goals on the first game of the season. So I think it makes sense to go with Maleka there with the Turkish league just resuming. So that's looking again solid to me. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now let's move on to my All-Star Limited team then. So, goalkeeper, let's see what we've got left then. So we've got Davy Roof, I think he's looking the potential obvious option here. So yeah, I'm going to go with Davy Roof in goal. Defenders, who we've got left. So we've got Nagdo here for Ghent as well. So again, I think this is looking a potentially easy option once again. Well, I do have De Witt and also Senesi as well for Feyenoord. Chatzidiakos as well for AZ. But with me having Davy Roof in goal and Nagdo obviously scoring fantastically, I'm going to go with Ghent and Nagdo in defence. So, midfielder then. So Sven Combs is looking a pretty obvious pick here. Now, I don't know if he was injured slightly in the last game, so I don't know if he's a potential risk, but I will need to check the news on him. Arnold again is another potential risk. I've got Valdez though, he's decent, but he could potentially use him as specialist. I've also got Classy as well for AZ, and Hudschrager for Ghent, who I think is actually playing really well recently. He's showing some fantastic stats as well, one that's recently been highlighted on my Patreon. If you guys not seen that yet, do check it out. So as you can see, I've got a plethora of decent players here, so it's a tough choice here really. Now, Combs, if he plays, I think he's going to be the standout pick. And I'm also tempted by Hudschrager as well for Ghent. Now that's going to leave a few players out that are obviously really good as well, but it's really tempting to go with nearly an all-out Ghent stack here. So I think I might actually do that, you know. I'm going to go with Comes in the midfield slot there, and potentially Hulkslager in the extra slot. But let's just have a look what forwards I've got. Now I've got Cecina here, of course, which looks like a really good pick out of all these players that are available. So I can't leave out Cecina, can I? So I might pick him, you know. I might pick him potentially as my captain, and then go with the other Ghent player in the extra slot. I think that's probably making really, really good sense. But yeah, I'm thinking Cecina makes sense here. I could use him in my all-star, in my specialist potentially. But I think I'm going to use him here in this team. I'm going to go with Cecina in the forward slot. And the extra slot, like I say, I think I'm going to go with pretty much all-out Ghent stack here. Well, we've got a few good options here. Plea could potentially start this one. Slight concern with a potential injury though there. Seattle have got a difficult game. Arnold is potentially injured. Valdez could be tempting here. Zachariah's out. Now I've also got Classy as well for AZ. He's also really tempting. But I think in this case I am going to go with my instincts, and I'm going to go with Hulkslager here as my extra slot. Captain, easy choice. I'm going to go with Cecina because he's just got a fantastic all-round game, and he's also capable of scoring and getting assists. He did start the last game as well. He was injured previously, but he did start the last match, so hopefully in this game he'll get back on the scoring and assisting train. Okay, so I'm going to go with him, and I'm going to save that team. So I think that's looking a really solid all-star team. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Right, now let's next move on to the Specialist Limited then. So we've still got a few decent players to potentially use in this lineup here as well. So let's see who we've got in goal. So this will be the last goalkeeper I pick, because obviously in the Underdog team I won't need a goalkeeper in that division. So we have got Hyun Woo here was away to Jeonbuk, so that's a fairly difficult fixture. Got Bae Jong here for Suwon FC against Suwon Blue Wings. Again, a fairly difficult fixture. I've also got Sejeno who are playing Shonan Belmare. They're away. There's no other real options here that I've got. We're actually going to get a game. So I am tempted to go with Hyun Woo here, even though they are away to Jeonbuk. But they have been conceding a lot recently. It's a really important game, this one. You never know, they might actually get a clean sheet. So I think what's best to do first of all actually is just have a look at what players I've got with an L15 of 40 or below first of all. I think that makes sense to pick those players first. So let's have a look then, see what we've got. So 40 or below, so we're looking at Kaneko's injured, Hustik probably injured, Han Boom's rubbish, Van der Streek 40% chance of Utrecht. I think he's potentially starting that one as well. I've got Cerny here as well actually. That could be a good shout. Trimmel as well. That could be another good pickup. He is expected to start this one as well. He just play quite further forward as well for Union Berlin. I've got Vormer playing Zulte. Vormer's got a 60% chance of playing this one as well. So he could be a really, really good pick here. No, I don't think Waldschmidt's actually going to start this game for Wolfsburg though, to be honest. Pavon, I don't think he's going to be starting this one. Bruno, now he could start this one for St. Trudent potentially. They've got quite a good fixture. We've also got Skov as well for Hoffenheim. Away to Mönchengladbach though, so that's not the easiest game. Seferovic as well, now plays for Galatasaray. That could be a good shout. So I've got plenty of players here to choose from in terms of the 40 or below. I've got a defender and midfielder. Got Cerny as well for 20, but I don't know if he's going to definitely start that one. So it's a tough choice actually, this. Tough choice. I think Vormer could have a really good game if he plays. Severovic could do well as well as his new club. And even Skov could do well in his return from injury. He's a forward as well. And Bruno is another good option. Let's just have a look what I've got in terms of forwards. So I've got pretty much a player for every single position there, haven't I? In terms of the 40 or below. So I've got Min Kyu cropping up here for Jeju. Also got Ferreira as well. So it's not as easy a fixture as the as Min Kyu though. Min Kyu was rested in the last game as well, so he should start that one. And I have also got Sobolov here. But he's not got the easiest fixture though, to be fair. So I've also got Chua here. I think he's going to probably start for Basaksehir here as well. And I've got high hopes for that player. But he could probably slot into my Underdog team actually, because he's just cropping into the 50 or below. So that probably makes sense to use him in that team. So Johnny Russell as well potentially. He'd be a fantastic card if he could find his form. I think I'm actually going to go with Min Kyu though in the forward slot. Seeing as they was rested in the last game, he should get a goal in this one. So I'm going to go with Min Kyu in the forward slot. So defenders then, let's see what we've got in terms of defenders. So we've got Villalba here for Argentina Juniors, 36% chance of winning, doesn't look the best fixture. Laverne have also got a difficult fixture this week. Got Senesi for Feyenoord, now that could be good. So also got Mies de Wit for AZ, although I don't think he's going to be starting this one. Sanchez for Argentinas as well. Fukamori for Consadole Sapporo. We've also got Chatzidiakos as well for AZ, so this could be interesting. So Chatzidiakos is looking probably the most obvious option. And what midfielders have I got then? So midfielders got Ladera Roldan, tough fixture there. Arnold's probably injured. I've got Valdez of course, but I might want to actually use him to be honest. Because he won't be able to go in the underdog team. But I've also got Classy as well. It's a tough choice. There's that many players to choose from. It's a tough choice. And Vormer's looking good as well, isn't he, in that midfield slot. Right, I think I'm going to change my mind here. I'm going to get rid of Minkyu. In midfield, I'm actually going to go with Classy. In defence, I'm going to go with Chatzidiakos. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Classy there. I think he's looking really solid. Really good fixture as well. Now, it is tempted to go with Chatzidiakos as well in the defender slot, obviously because he plays for AZ. But that's more of a defensive stack, not really an attacking stack. So I don't have to pick him, but he's obviously got the most favourable. And it is potentially tempting to pick him. But it'd mean leaving Minkyu out of the lineups for this week, and also Ferreira as well. And Magoza. I do like Chirard though, but he's, again, like I say, he could probably go into my underdog team. Although I have got a few options in that one as well by the looks of things. I think I'm going to go with Chirard here. It makes the most sense here. It does look to have a good fixture as well. I'm going to go with Chirard in the forward slot. So now I need some players what I've got L15 of 40 or below now, don't I, of course. So, defence then. Now I've actually only got two here. One of them's Trimmel. He's obviously not been scoring the best recently, has he? So maybe it's best to actually get rid of Chirard. Go with Chatzidiakos in defence. Up front, go with Minkyu. I don't know. I've also got Valdez as well. It's a tough choice this. To be honest, I might actually go with Seferovic here for Galatasaray. Go with the theory of being the first game of the season, there'll be plenty of goals. And I think he's going to do well for Galatasaray. So I'm actually going to go with him in the forward slot as one of my 40 or below players. Let's just get rid of these two again. So the extra slot, so it's going to have to be a player of 40 or below, isn't it? I think I'm going to actually go with Vormer here in that final slot. If he does start, they've got a really good fixture as well, as you can see. So I think it makes sense to go with Vormer here. I will check that he's going to be definitely starting though. Goalkeeper, it's been between well, there's Park Bay Jong as well, of course. At home to So and Blue Wings. They're at home as well, so I don't know if that's going to help his case or not. But he's been doing well though recently. He's been doing plenty of saves as well. So I think I'm going to go with Park Bay Jong there in that final slot. So we got there in the end. Pretty hard to pick the players here though. Good problem to have though. And so I'm going to go with Captain Vormer. I will check he's starting though before the deadline. Just make sure that he's going to be starting that one. And I'll go ahead and save that lineup. Right, so Underdog then, Limited is the final team. If you're still watching, well done. This is taking quite a long time. Right, so goalkeeper. We don't need a goalkeeper, do we? So I'm just going to put anybody in just for the sake of this lineup builder. So defender then, let's have a look who we've got. So we've got Sanchez, Sangwoo. Seko's not actually got a team at the minute. We've got Fukamori, Nagato, Rybus could be a good one, potentially. Not the easiest fixture though, but he could potentially be a good one. Or even Gunter actually for Freiburg. He's capable of scoring well, as you can see here. 7 well last year actually in the underdog division. We've got Lena here, 45% chance of winning. I don't know if he's going to start that one though for definite. And I've also got Trimmel as well, who's been scoring alright, but not the best, as you can see. I am tempted to go with Rybus here, potentially. Well, Sanchez could be a good one. He's been scoring well recently as well, Antelope. 36% chance. He's just creeping in there. Let me just check on the site just to make sure that he is eligible for this one. Because sometimes the L15 scores differ on the actual Sorare website. So let's just see if he's going to qualify for this. So we'll get rid of these. Yeah, so he is 49 on here, look, as you can see in the last 15. So he's qualifying, so that's good. So we'll go with him, I think, in the... So midfielder then, we've got Browers. He should be starting this one as well for Utrecht. He's a good player, actually. Pelezovic. for Seoul. That one could be a decent pickup potentially. I do like Browers though. Pelezovic. Now, he came on as a sub in the last game, so you would think he'd start this one. So I think I will actually go with Pelezovic here, with him being at home and him being rested in the last game. He should start this one, so I'm going to go with Pelezovic there in the midfield slot. Forward then, so we've got left. We've got Sorare, obviously I was a big fan of, so it's looking likely to be him, I would say. We've also got Lishchenko as well, although I don't know if he's going to definitely start this one. And we've got Bruno as well, who could potentially start this one. But I am going to go with Sorare. He's got the most favourable fixture and I do like him. So the extra slot then. We've got Sangwoo here who's a defender. I don't know, go for a defender really. Browers might be a decent one. Ruti could be good as well actually. Austin would look like to have a good fixture as well. He's definitely going to start this one as well by the looks of things. Holhauser is obviously always tempting, but not an easy game for them this week. Lishchenko, I'd probably pick him to go with Pelezovic, but I don't know if he's going to be starting or not. Cerny would potentially one if he was looking to start that one. Potentially even Bruno. But I think I am going to go with Ruti. Doesn't like he's scored in the last three, so he's probably due a goal. He's capable of scoring. So I will go with him up front. Looks to have a decent fixture as well. So it's probably time he got back on the score sheet. Captain, I am going to go with Chirao actually. Again, going with that theory that the Lee's coming back in the first games back. There'll be plenty of goals. Let's hope I'm right. So I've gone with him there as my captain. So I'll go ahead and save that. So that is all the teams done. Now that took quite some time. So I'm going to go to my save lineups. And we can actually have a quick rundown of all my teams, including my rare teams as well, of course, guys. So you'll be able to see my rare teams on here. So, Champion Age Limited looks like this. So we've gone for Sung Rong in goal, Hanbum in defence. Then we've gone for Iniga and Demao for Kawasaki. And then I've also gone for Jin Ho as the captain. Champion Europe Limited. So this is the best ever S05 team I've probably put out since I've been on Sorare. We've got Dave Roof in goal, Douglas Santos in defence. We've got Wendell in midfield, and then we've got Malcolm and Begwas up front, and Begwas is my captain. This is looking absolutely fantastic, this team. Hopefully they'll do the business. Champion Europe Limited, Blake and Wagner make up a nice Philadelphia stat there. We've also got a stack of Portland here with Blanco and Ngoza. Blanco's captain, and Gill, I'm hoping, returns to form as well as New England Revolution. Under 23 Limited is looking good as well. Tanny in goal, Winchell in defence. Got Szymanski for his new club Feyenoord, obviously Winchell for his new club Ajax. Got Mihailovic in midfield, and I've gone for Captain Maleka at his new club Besiktas. All-Star Limited is pretty much against stack. I've gone for Roof, Nagdu, Hudschlager, and Comes in the midfield, defence and goalkeeper slots. Then I've gone for the fantastic Cecina as my captain. Champion Asia Rares looking like this at the moment. I've gone for an Itchin defensive stat there with Lee Tae-ho in goal and Delbridge in defence. I've got Jin Ho as my captain, and Changmin and Min Kyu up front and in midfield. Now obviously I need to check on the news on Changmin. I'm hoping he starts. He's a new signing, this guy. I've also signed Delbridge recently as well, just to get those stacks in my Asia team. If he doesn't start, I'll have to obviously put somebody else in, potentially Magoza of Kobe. Champion Europe Rare looks pretty decent this week. I've got Captain Douglas Santos, I've got Akinviv in goal, with Ablayakov also playing for CSKA Moscow. Then I've gone for a front two of Hatate and Furuhashi for Celtic. All-Star Rares looking at this, Mandangu in goal, Muen in defence, I've gone for Captain Valdez, Lewis Morgan in midfield with Sobolov up front. Underdog Rare team, I've gone for Vormer as my captain in this one, Sari in midfield, Fukumori as my defender. I've got a Kubo here who could potentially start this one, I'm not 100% sure. And Cerny up front, who again is potentially doubt. So quite a few of these team players potentially not going to play, but they were the only players that I had available to put in this team. All-Star Pro looks like this. I've gone for Chirao as my captain. As you can see, got a lot of faith in this guy. Got Ferreira up front. I've got Arnold in midfield. He could potentially be injured there. I need to check that. Got Wagner in defence and Tae-Hugh as my goalkeeper. Specialist Limited team that probably took the longest to pick. Gone for Vormer as captain in this one. Severovic, his new club Galatasaray. Gone for Classy and Chatsidiakos, make up a bit of a stack for AZ there. And Beijong in goal for Suwon FC. And the Underdog team finally is looking like this. Kavenk in goal, although we don't need a goalkeeper actually in the Underdog team. And I've gone for Sanchez in defence, Pelezovic in midfield, and up front I've gone for forward Urruti and Chura as my captain as well for Bakasaxia. So I'm sure you'll agree, guys, these teams are looking really good. So I'm hoping for some success in the upcoming game week. And this, of course, is my biggest hope, my Challenger Europe Limited side, which is probably the best side ever that I've ever put into these tournaments. Wendell is a recent signing. I have been wanting this guy for quite a number of years now, and I've finally bit the bullet and actually purchased his card recently. So as you can see, this team is looking fantastic. The rest of the teams are looking good as well. Hope you guys got some good lineups in the upcoming game week. If you like the video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Sign up to Sorare using the link below where you'll get 13 common cards and a limited card on the football. Check out SorareAssist.com and also consider becoming a patron as well of Sorare Assist, where I'm scouting regularly on all the games on Sorare, looking for the next big player and highlighting the current best players as well for your S05 teams. Check that out, guys. It's the beginning of the month as well, so if you pay for the membership, you'll obviously get a full month of content for the membership price. So do check that out today. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Smash the like button always. Subscribe to the channel. Like I say, good luck in the upcoming game week, and I'll see you again soon.